Guys, welcome back. So it's been a few weeks since we've done any wine the bag reviews for tour winners, really since Tiger won the Tour Championship, and obviously Ryder Cup came, and there's been the start of the new season, the wraparound season. So we've kind of not really had too much of a reason since then to do one. We have a pretty good reason to do one this week.
I think about as interesting as someone coming out on tour that there's ever been. People are pretty interested in how this guy hits the ball so far. Yeah,
I mean, when Tiger first came out on tour, he hit it further than just about everyone with a more rounded overall game. Putting was exceptional, wedges were incredible, and obviously the driving was a game changer. You know, they had to Tiger-proof Augusta for God's sake.
Right.
So this kid probably is proportionately longer than Tiger was at that time.
Right, so he's relative to the other tour players, he's that much longer.
He is, yeah. I think last year's, to think of some of the stats, but last year's average, or leading average club head speed was about 124 miles an hour on tour.
Okay.
The average ball speed, I think it's Trey Mullinax was 182 and a bit.
So he was the fastest ball speed?
He was the fastest. This kid's 193 average.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
So, I mean, these we're going to have a lot of fun watching him play iconic golf courses, just hitting it on lines that we're just not used to. I mean, Rory, I think topped the driving stats last year for the year.
Total driving.
Total driving, and you know he's going to be hitting at 20, 30 past Rory,
which is ridiculous. Yeah. And again, I think the curiosity, a lot of it comes from he doesn't really look like he's going at it that fast. He's not that big of a guy.
Yeah.
I think you get guys that, long drive guys, yes, it's amazing how far they hit it, but you can physically see what they're doing to hit the ball really far. He's like swinging in balance, it looks pretty relaxed, and the ball is going an insanely fast speed like that. 190 is ridiculous.
Well, you know that. I mean, everyone watching this channel, goes, geez, how does Matt hit it as far as he does? That's you looking at him.
Yeah, you're looking so far beyond what I would even be capable of. You're
looking at that and going, geez, I don't think 190 is possible for me.
No,
in the same way, people look at, you can go, they're at 150 and you go, I don't have 170 in the locker.
No,
you just aren't able to do that. So the kid's a game changer, and he's in his second start, he's got his first win on tour, which just takes all the pressure off.
It should.
It really does.
Probably adds a bit of pressure, but it still does. It validates his ability that he can get a win.
That's
the second start, I mean, it's crazy.
Well, I think even just from a scheduling standpoint, it changes your schedule for the whole year. So you start going to events that you really want to go to.
He's going to Hawaii already, right?
That's right.
Gets to go there.
For the Tournament of Champions and
Masters, US Open.
I think you get a Masters invite. I know there's some events.
That's right.
There's some you do and some you don't.
You might be right. I'm not sure about the Masters, but.
It's going to be incredible to watch him around Augusta. I mean, just watching some of the lines that he can hit it on, it'll be different. It's going to be a lot of fun to see him. And there was periods of that round he struggled a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, obviously started off, he didn't quite have his best game in the front nine, shot one over in the front. Obviously cracked his driver in the range before he went out, which threw him for a big loop.
That's pretty much a disaster for someone, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and apparently, by all reports, he dealt with it like a veteran and just said to his dad, "Listen, don't hurry. I don't need my driver till the third hole anyway."
That's funny.
He's like, "Take your time." And his dad went and get the backup, and he may be a little shaken. He didn't look like he was in sync in the front nine, but he certainly put it together in the back nine and shoot 31 coming home and kind of eased away from them. It was really impressive.
It was great to watch.
Yeah. So obviously, we're going to look at his bag and think that he's got a bag of very unique tools.
Yes. That's I think what everyone was saying. How is he playing with what seems to be a fairly standard set of clubs for a tour player?
It's a very standard set of clubs. There's nothing. That would seem a bit extreme for his speed.
Right.
So I mean, if we're going to start at the bottom this week, so we're going to start at the putter. He uses the Ping Tine, which is a little kind of mallet. Looks a bit like the iconic kind of Odyssey number 7 Fang.
Right.
Kind of the two sort of
popular these days.
That two little
design.
kind of rods coming out, the toe and the heel. He uses that face balance. It's got a little double bend neck on it, or just to face balance it. The PLD, which is the Ping Lab design, which is their sort of custom shop for that type of stuff.
For those guys.
Yep. He's a Ping guy throughout the bag, isn't he?
Yeah, top to bottom.
14 clubs. which is huge for them. So he's glide forged in the wedges, 50, 54, 60 on those. So interestingly enough, playing S400s.
That seems pretty soft.
Wedges. Just
you think a soft shaft to him would be like an X200 or something, right?
I know. But I guess we'll learn. I've not really seen enough of his game to see if he really dials it back on the wedges and he hits them very, very soft.
Couple I saw looked like he just kind of smoothed them in there.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it's crazy. It's amazing someone with that tempo has that kind of range. Definitely. That can do that. But
no, it's impressive. Iron wise, he's in a combo set. A combo set. He uses eye blades all the way down to from 4 to wedge.
4, and then he's got an eye 500 driving.
It's a 4 iron as well. So he carries 2 4 irons, but with the stronger loft on the i500, it kind of gives him the right gapping. So he's using KBS C-Taper 130s, which is their strongest X-Flex shaft. Yeah, really, really strong, really boardy shaft. And that's probably the one in the bag for him that's kind of the stiffest, relatively speaking.
Because he's got to keep, with that much speed, you must need to keep the ball flight down somewhat.
Yeah. I mean,
somehow, right?
If you look at his swing though, the way he routes the club, he's going to have a lot. I mean, I don't know if you saw how much forward shaft lean he has with his driver. Incredible.
So he doesn't put a lot of dynamic loft on it.
Really, really low dynamic loft. Just the way he does it. I mean, if you see how far forward his trail arm is in impact and stuff like that, it's quite incredible. So I was actually watching him hit some sort of stinger drivers. The little montage the other day online of him hitting some stingers, and it's amazing how low he can make the ball fly. Yeah. So 4 to wedge in those, and was, as we said, i500. So just a little bit stronger, more forgiving on the on the driving iron, which is a regular sort of 2.5, 3 iron for him. But because of the design of that, goes a little bit further.
I'm sure he hits it plenty far anyway.
Plenty far. So 3-wood, he's got G400 14.5.
Yep, that's exactly what we got here.
Yep. He has it set actually in small plus by all accounts. So he's actually turned the loft up to 15.1. The one thing with Ping, we were chatting a little bit about this earlier, and you were asking me about his driver and how does he use a 9 degree and that type of thing. The chances are, I mean, this is not kind of the kind of gospel truth, but he may have a slightly lower lofted driver than stated, and Ping do offer that to everyone,
which is amazing.
That's something they offer to the public. So if you come in here, try a driver, and we see the 9 degree doesn't quite match up to what you want, we can request a digitally lofted 8.2, 8.4, something less than the normal. So then, it costs a little bit extra, just a few bucks, but then Ping will sort through all their heads and they'll find you the closest one to the exact loft you need. So potentially he's using a slightly lower loft.
It would make sense, right? I mean, we know that the G400 Max head is not the lowest spinning head. Yeah. But we know also, as you say, his delivery, he's not putting a ton of loft on it.
And those were my thoughts until I saw him deliver it and where he got to impact with the driver, and I couldn't believe how little dynamic loft was on it. So there's a decent chance
that essentially answers the question. We got tons of people asking us the last 2 days to do one a day and a half, I should say, because he just won. And the question was, how is this guy playing this driver? He swings so much faster than anyone else by far, and this is not a low spin head. So that's the reason.
I think for most of last year, of all the G400 heads out there, the Max was the #1 model out of all the G400s played on tour. There was a ton of guys, but we've tested it. It's fast enough. It maybe isn't the lowest spinning head, but when you've got that much speed, like we always talk about, stability with driving and all the rest of it, you really want a little bit more spin. You don't want it to be too low, and that's probably what this driver gives you.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not wanting for yardage by any means, and I would assume at that speed your miss hits become so much worse, and your offline shots go another 30 yards offline. So he is a person that probably is willing to sacrifice a bit of distance. He's probably one of the very few that actually does.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how things kind of evolve for him in that sense. Shaft-wise in his 3-wood, he uses a Project X hazardous black 85.
Okay.
X-Flex
Fairly
in
stiff,
that one.
is it?
Yeah, very stiff, very stiff by profile. Most people play that shaft and driver rather than,
really? Okay.
rather than 3-wood. It is very, very stiff, and he has that one tipped. I want to say it's about an inch or so on his 3-wood.
Quite a bit.
Quite a lot on that profile. He plays it a little bit shorter length as well. He plays it 42.75.
Really?
Plays it slightly short. And then the driver he plays a full inch short of ping standard, but half an inch short of what we consider standard at 45.
44.
So he's at 44.5.
Right.
So so this is, we've kind of put one together here.
Yeah, as close as we could get.
Well, this is the new version, Matty, of his shaft. He uses the Fujikura Pro Tour spec, which was the kind of white and black graphics. Really, really stiff, quite low torque, higher balance point, which I was curious about.
Okay.
So when I was kind of looking at his spec and what he used, to see that he plays it short with a shaft that is counterbalanced, I was very curious how he gets to his D3 swing weight. So maybe there's a little additional hot melt in there,
juice
or
in the head, a
little weight in the back there. That's adjustable. That little kind of port in the back.
That's not a player that would do well with a light swing weight. There's no way.
No. I mean, for me, it's just I'm very curious to how his equipment is going to evolve. I mean, clearly it hits it well. I've seen several videos of him testing with Ping at headquarters in Scottsdale, or just south of Scottsdale in Phoenix. And he does significant testing. Sometimes you can see these kids come out of college and they've just got a setup from college that they just loved, and then they get them into a new set of sticks once they get on tour, and all the options are there for them. But I mean, he's obviously been a talent that's been recognised for a long time.
He was he on the web.com tour?
He was. I think he won twice last year.
So
on
he
web.
would have had tour access kind of anyway, I guess, right?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been someone that burst out from college directly.
And with his skill set, and that kind of amount of power, they would have known that it's only really a matter of time.
Sure.
Until he kind of puts it all together. He was I think it was 2016 perhaps as an amateur he qualified for the US Open.
It sounds about right, because that was when you started to hear his name, right?
Yeah, I think it was Erin Hills or somewhere like that. Anyway, he qualified for the US Open as an amateur. So yeah, he's obviously a crazy talented kid.
Amazing. So what we're going to do, because the curiosity is mostly about the driver, understandably, we're going to try to recreate some of his conditions, not the speed. Let's
thought
be
you were going to
honest.
say we're going to try and crack it like he did.
Well, I'm not going to try to crack it.
Not again after last week.
That's right. Crack one of the other ones. I guess we can talk to more about how this head will see that you can produce lower spin shots with this, just depending on how the club is coming in. So we'll hit a few shots. Similar shaft, as you said, just a newer version.
Newer version for sure.
Yep, but we will not be hitting it 365 or whatever.
I can turn the altitude up for you, man.
Yeah. Get me up to 9,000 feet. That should do it. Okay.
Okay, let's take a little look. I mean, you had a couple of swings with this one earlier, and you said it felt really nice.
It does, yeah. The shaft feels great.
Good.
I think it's very stable, but doesn't feel crazy stiff.
Okay.
Kind of honestly reminds me of my TPT.
Does it really?
This is probably a little higher or lower torque, though, I'm guessing.
3 degrees torque this is.
So similar.
Yeah.
Similar. Okay, so I'm going to try to... I mean, my swing, to be honest with you, I don't deliver a ton of dynamic loft anyway. So we should see that, I guess, being a factor in how this thing would stack up spin-wise.
Okay. That was pretty low spin, a little out to the left, but certainly flat.
Yeah, left it open, but certainly wasn't spinny, was it?
1700.
Yeah. A little strike induced, probably. It's a little more square. So let's look at the delivery on that one, because I'm curious. To me, I think that would be somewhat similar to how his club path would be, to keep that spin down.
Dynamic loft delivered at 17, strike about 5 millimeters above the equator, slightly in the toe.
Right. Backspin
was at 1700, launch at 13.4. I mean, pretty good numbers to hit it long, Matty.
Yeah. Is 17 not a lot of dynamic loft?
It's okay. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it would be relatively neutral.
Like if you had to guess, what do you think he's delivering?
Dynamic loft, I would imagine he's delivering it around 11.
Yeah, that little.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'd say probably delivering. I mean, that some of the images I saw yesterday in the slow-mos, it really had the handle forward.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing some more on his numbers, on his delivery numbers.
For sure.
On the sort of either be, I think he's got some TrackMan numbers out there.
Yep.
I'm not seeing him hit on quad, so I don't know how his numbers in quad look, but I'd be very curious as what his angle of attack looks like. It looks like he retains so much lag on that downswing. I'd be curious to see if he's hitting down on it a little bit.
Fractionally?
Yeah,
maybe
because we were doing some kind of math off his numbers earlier, and off of his 130.73 club head speed that he averaged this week, he should actually hit it fractionally further than than he averaged. So I would imagine he's losing a little bit in optimization, but from a distance perspective.
Distance only, yeah.
Yeah.
That's hit well. Should be a little more balanced.
Yep.
The flight looks good though. I don't think it seemed overly spinny. Surprised.
No, definitely not spinny, that's for sure. Let's have a look at that last 165. Yeah, 1900 spin, Matty, 13 launch, 17.7 launch again. Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it with this club. It's very important to get your strike center or above with this.
Yep.
Luckily, haven't hit any low yet, but when it is low, I would imagine he must be someone that tends to hit it a little bit higher on the face. Yeah, that was almost the same shot, to be honest. A little lower, but
very close to the same.
All right, let's take a look at a couple of those averages.
Okay, Matty, so on the 4 or 5 shots that we hit there, it really was quite low spin for you,
It was, yeah, which is surprising. Haven't hit this in a while.
Yeah.
And I think my swing has changed a fair amount to the point where this has become, again, a decent option for me.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a bit of a trend happening here in that the better your swing has become, the more clubs have become available for you.
I guess possible to use, yeah.
And we've seen that so many times recently. Yeah. Oh, that one would be good, that one would be good. Well, your swing is awfully good now, so you can really probably fall into trying a lot of different clubs, whereas before we had to be a little bit more specific about what we were doing. But just a little get you cold today. Your ball speed's on the lower end for you.
Definitely, yeah.
Launch and spin were definitely geared towards more distance.
For sure.
That's quite a bit higher than you normally launch.
It is. That's a lot of launch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we go over to the club screen here, we were striking it a little bit above the centre and a fraction out in the toe. So, pretty good. 17.5 degree dynamic loft on average. We know that launch angle sits just below the dynamic loft. So, pretty good.
Pretty good
numbers.
But that gives you a decent explanation of how someone, again, 30 miles an hour faster than me, which is insane.
It's quite hard to believe.
It's actually nuts when you think about it. But that he can use this driver because he's just not delivering the driver like this. He's delivering it like this.
That's right.
So the effective loft is just not there.
Yes. And one thing we kind of never mentioned earlier was on the golf ball he plays.
He uses an XV, right?
Yeah, he uses an XV. So the red numbered Strixon. Such a good ball. We've talked about it a lot in the channel this year, and it's kind of the kind of benefits of that ball. It's very, very low spin.
It is.
Very good in the wind.
And it's on the firmer side, I guess, compression-wise.
I think so, yeah.
So it would be perfect for him, right?
Around the wedges and stuff like that, I certainly feel like it's on the lower spin. So when you've got that much speed and the kind of delivery like he has, probably used to fight a little bit of excess spin. So on testing, he probably found that one was a little better all round for him.
That's cool.
Certainly worked pretty well.
Yeah, there's no way to complain about getting a win in your second start.
Incredible. I'm really curious to see how this plays out. I mean, God help him when he goes out and plays the events in the desert and stuff like that, where the ball flies a bit further. And I mean, who knows?
400-yard drives.
It won't be out of place from Tip. I mean, we saw DJ at the Tournament of Champions hit a host of 400-yard drives. Yep. I mean, stick that kid on a course and get him
with those downhill slopes and stuff like that.
I think it's just going to be really interesting. Do you know what I think? I'll be very curious as to how everyone else copes with, when DJ plays with him. How does he cope with being significantly outdriven?
I don't think he's ever seen that, so it's going to be weird, right?
Even when, when Tiger was come back and they were talking about Tiger sort of driving it up with him and stuff, you could see DJ's ego kicked in a little bit, went, but no. No. I mean, he can, but he doesn't.
Yes,
that sort of thing. I mean, this kid has a gear, or probably a couple of gears, that none of them have.
I was going to say, and we probably haven't even seen the fastest he could swing. This is him playing tournament golf.
There's probably only, the only person I can think of out there that's really playing, on any kind of professional. I mean, obviously our good buddy Sadlowski.
That's right. He would be in that range.
Gamer-wise, he said to us he was about 130ish, 195, 200. I mean, it's amazing to think this kid is the same as a former
world champion,
two-time
world
long drive champion. Yeah. And this kid's that long.
And doesn't look like he's swinging that fast.
Incredible. And he doesn't, to be honest, look like he's optimized for trying to hit it far.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like he's hitting up on it a ton to me at all. I'm going to actually make a point to go out and try and find his numbers.
See that for our next little sessions.
Be curious to see what his numbers look like, but amazing.
Yeah, cool
Impressive.
Stuff. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, game changer. So we'll see how that goes next year, guys. It's been a while since we've done one of these, but this was a good timing to get back on it.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of pick and choose probably between now and the real start of the season. I still think of the season doesn't start until Hawaii for me.
Hawaii for sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right.
We'll see. Guys, appreciate you watching. We'll see you again soon.